Welcome to the very first full-length episode of the Ancient Wisdom Journey podcast. I'm Nico. If you've followed me on YouTube, you've seen the snapshots of wisdom I share there. But life isn't lived in 60-second clips. It's lived in the high-pressure gaps in between, the boardroom, the classroom, and those quiet moments of doubt at 2 a.m. when you're wondering if you're actually on the right path. This podcast is where we go deeper. This is where I stop being just a face on a screen and start sharing how I actually apply these ancient tools when my own world starts to shake. Because, believe me, it does shake. Before we dive into today's pillar, perception, I want to make sure you have the tools I use every day. Head to the link in the show notes to download my daily alignment sheet and the Family Sanctuary Pack. They are completely free. I designed them to be your compass before the digital noise of the world tries to steer you off course. Now, let's get into it. I have a confession to make. Last week, I failed. I had a major project I was working on, something I'd poured weeks of energy into. It was the kind of work you stay up late for because you believe in it. And then, at the 11th hour, the whole thing collapsed. A technical glitch wiped hours of progress, and a partner I was relying on backed out at the worst possible moment. My immediate reaction? I was angry. I felt like the world was actively working against me. I felt like a victim of circumstance. There I was, preaching the inner citadel on social media, but in my own life, my fortress was crumbling. I spent 2 days in a cloud of frustration. I was snappy with my family, I couldn't sleep, and I kept replaying the failure in my head. I was stuck. Then, I picked up Marcus Aurelius's Meditations and read one sentence. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. I realized then that I wasn't stressed because of the glitch. I was stressed because of the label I had put on it. I had labeled it a disaster. And once you label something a disaster, your brain has no choice but to panic. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just being poetic, he was practicing what the Stoics called objective representation. Think about how we live today. We are bombarded by opinions disguised as facts. Your phone pings with a notification. Markets are crashing. Your brain perceives fear. You get an email from your boss. We need to talk. Your brain perceives threat. But Marcus would tell us to strip the purple dye off the situation. In ancient Rome, purple robes were a sign of ultimate power and wealth. But Marcus reminded himself that purple dye was just the blood of a shellfish, and the robe was just sheep's wool. He stripped the glamour away until he saw the raw reality. When my project failed, I didn't see it objectively. I saw it through a lens of unfairness. If I had used objective representation, I would have seen the truth. The file is missing. I have the knowledge in my head. I have the time to start again. One of those thoughts leads to a spiral. The other leads to a plan. To get out of my rut, I used a technique I call the "so what" filter. It's a way to peel back the layers of your anxiety. I told myself, the work is gone. So what? I have to do it again. So what? It will take me all weekend. So what? I'll be tired on Monday. So what? When you follow the logic to the very end, you realize that 90% of what we call catastrophes are actually just inconveniences. When I finally sat down to redo the work, something strange happened. Because I was doing it for the second time, I was faster. I was clearer. The second version was actually better than the one I lost. The obstacle truly did become the way. So, here is your mission for this week. I want you to practice the label fast. Next time something goes wrong, whether it's a traffic jam, a spilt coffee, or a difficult conversation, stop before you label it. Don't call it bad. Don't call it unfair. Just describe it like a scientist. The car is stopped. The coffee is on the floor. See how much power you reclaim when you stop giving your energy away to adjectives. That's all the wisdom I have for you today. Now, the rest is up to you. Make it your mission to carry this truth. You are the architect of your own peace. You are doing better than you think. Don't look for the giant leap. Just focus on the next small step toward the best version of yourself. Be patient with your progress. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, but they did lay bricks every single hour. Go out there and lay yours. I'm Nico, and this is the Ancient Wisdom Journey. I'll see you in the next episode.